we're working out of OpenStax Statistics Chapter 8, and we're in the last tab of the Excel file where we're going to work on calculating sample sizes for confidence intervals of proportions. So as always, you can access the textbook for free. Just look in the description of this video, and you can get a free copy of the Excel workbook at divideandconquermath.com. Just go to the OpenStax Statistics section. So suppose that a mobile phone company wants to determine the current percentage of customers who use text messaging on their cell phones. So how many customers should the company survey in order to be 90% confident that the estimated proportion is within 3 percentage points of the true population proportion of customers who use text messaging on their phones? Okay, so this is a case where we want to figure out what size, what size survey we need to take. So I have this formula that I really need to fill in. So the first piece of information that we are given clearly is that we want our error bounds. We want this to be within 3 percentage points. So that's plus or minus 3 percentage points. And so 3 percentage points does not mean 3. It means 0.03. So it's 3%. So you just want to make sure you write that as a decimal. Now, you'll notice that this problem says nothing about the actual proportions that we're using here. So if you have a problem where you're trying to compute n like we are here, and you have no other information, you can just assume that both of these are going to be 0.5. And then for my critical value, so I need to compute my critical value. Since we're dealing with a proportion, we're always going to use a z critical value. So I'm going to use that norm.s.inverse function. And so I need to use an alpha of 10% because I'm 90% confident, and then I can just divide that by 2. At this point, you may have memorized your critical value for this, and that's all good. And so from here, now you can take your absolute value of this, and I always like to kind of like round this. So I'm going to round this to 3 decimal points. And so from here, now you just plug everything into your formula. So I'm going to take this z squared times my p prime times my q prime, all of that divided by my error bound squared. And so I get about 751.67, and so then we can round that to 752. Oops, and Excel didn't like how I wrote that, so I'll just write round to 752. Okay, and so that's it for that one.